Hey there, this is Mr. Alexander, and this video is for Pre-AP Algebra 2 students at Stony Point High School. This is what we did in class on September the 30th and October the 1st. We did Gaussian elimination. That's when you've got a system of three equations, how do you solve for x, y, and z? And this is one method you can use to find x, y, and z. And I kind of wanted to walk you through the steps, and the steps I'm going to be following are right here. We're going to try and be neat. We're going to try and not skip steps. We're going to follow this outline 1 through 5 pretty closely here. So we should always start from the beginning. Start with pick two equations and eliminate the x term. So even before that, I like to number these equations. I like to number them 1, 2, and 3. And I'm supposed to pick two equations and eliminate the x term. So I'm going to start with equation 2. And I want to get rid of an x. Well, if I compare that to equation 3, then what I need to do with equation 3 is I need to multiply it by -3. So I'm going to do equation 2 plus -3 times equation 3. Alright, so I'm just going to copy down equation 2, which is 3x minus y minus z equals 1. And then I've got 3 times -3 times equation 3, so that gives me -3x, -3y, and +3z. And that's going to equal -1 times -3 is just 3. And I'm just going to sum those. I'm going to add them up. So 3x plus -3x is just 0. -y plus a -3y is -4y. And then -z plus 3z is +2z. And that equals 1 plus 3 is 4. I'm going to call that equation number 4. I'll write a little 4 next to it. Alright, let's look at our notes again. So that was step 1. Pick two equations and eliminate the x term. The next one is pick two different equations from the original here and eliminate the x term again. So this time, let's just put a little box around that. This time, let's pick equation 1 and let's compare it to equation 3 here. But I need one x to be positive, one to be negative. So I'm going to multiply it by -1, that equation 3. Okay. So equation 1, I'm just going to copy down. X plus 2y minus 3z equals -5. Okay. And then I need to do -1 times equation 3. So that'll be -x minus y plus z, because it's -z, so times -1 is plus z, equals, let's see, equation 3 times -1 is going to be +1. I'm going to add those up. Sum them. So x minus x is just 0. 2y minus y is y minus 2z equals -4. Because -3z plus z is -2z. -5 plus 1 is -4. I'm going to call this equation 5. Alright, so I'm done with step 1 and step 2. Step 1, pick two equations and eliminate the x term. That gave me equation 4. Step 2, pick two different equations and eliminate the x term. That gave me equation 5. Third step, use equations from 1 and 2 and eliminate the y term. Okay, so I need to use equations 4 and 5 to eliminate the y term. Now I'm looking at equation 4 and 5. In order to eliminate the y, let's see, I've got a -4 up there in front of the y, and I don't have anything in front of the y here. So if I go ahead and multiply equation 5 by 4, then I can eliminate the y term. So I'm going to take equation 4 and I'm going to add 4 times equation 5. All right, so just copy down equation 4. Negative 4y plus 2z equals 4. It's a plus sign. And I want to do 4 times equation 5. So 4y minus 8z equals negative 16. I'm going to add those up. So when I add them, negative 4y plus y is just 0y. 2 plus negative 8z is negative 6z. And that's going to be 4 plus negative 16 is negative 12. I'm going to call that equation 6. All right. So now we got 3 new equations here, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go back to our notes here. Let's use one original equation, one equation from 1 and 2, and the equation in 3 to write your Gaussian system. All right, Gaussian system. Gaussian system is a system of equations where the first equation has 3 variables, like the original. The second equation has 2 variables, like 4 and 5. And the third equation has just 1 variable, like number 6. So I'm going to rewrite this system of equations from the beginning here. But this time, I'm going to write it as a Gaussian system. So I'm just going to pick any one of these 3. I'm going to pick the one that looks the easiest. So I'm going to pick number 3. Because that's x plus y minus z equals negative 1. And then I need to pick one of these 4 or 5. And again, you should just pick the one that looks easier. I'm going to pick 5. Y minus 2z equals negative 4. And then finally, you need to write the equation we found last, which was equation 6. So equation 6 was negative 6z equals negative 12. So negative 6z equals negative 12. So I've got this Gaussian system now because the top equation has 3 variables, the second equation has 2 variables, and the third equation has 3 variables. Well, now I can solve for x, y, and z. And you should always start from the bottom. Start with number 6. Number 6, negative 6z equals negative 12. Let's solve for z. You just divide by negative 6, right? Z equals 2. All right, so we're starting from the bottom, working our way up. So the next equation is number 5. Y minus 2z, but now I know what z is. Z is 2. I'm just going to plug in a 2 for z. Y minus 2z equals negative 4. So y minus 2 times 2 is 4 equals negative 4. Add 4 to both sides. Y equals 0. And the last thing we need to do is our first equation, equation 3, which was x plus y minus z equals negative 1, this equation here. So x plus y minus z equals negative 1. But now I know what y and z are. X plus 0 minus 2 equals negative 1. 0 minus 2 is just negative 2. X minus 2 equals negative 1. Add 2 to both sides. X equals 1. So I know my x, my y, and my z. But I'm not quite done yet. You haven't solved this original system until you've told me what the x, the y, and the z are as a coordinate point. Because these are lines. These are 3-dimensional lines. And their solution is where they cross. So you need to tell me where they cross. And why you do that is in nice big brackets here at the bottom. Tell me x, y, and z. This is the answer. 1, 0, 2 is where those three lines cross. That's the solution to the system of equations. This is number 9 on your homework, and I hope this has been useful.